Hi everyone, welcome to the weekly review of my M1 Finance dividend brokerage account. Balance on the account is $213,968.20. Let's go ahead and look at the performance for the past week. Overall, it was green. So the portfolio was up 0.92% or $1,948.59. I have three holdings in the portfolio. The first is VU, which is the S&P 500. That was up 1.09% or $1,473.82. So very nice. SCHD, which is the Schwab US Dividend ETF. That was up 0.61% or $458.27. And then QQQM, which tracks the NASDAQ 100, was up 0.78% or $16.50. So overall, very happy with the results for the past week, especially for VU. Now let's go ahead and look at the activity. So on November, 25th, I put in $50. It all went to VU, and I got 0.09 shares. Then on November 27th, I put in $300 and I got two buys. So $284.29 went to VU and I got 0.51 shares. And then the remaining balance of $15.70 went to QQQM and I got 0.07 shares. So for the past week, I deposited $350. Let's go ahead and look at the recap that I just talked about. So you see here, I started the week at $211,669.61. I put in $350, and then the market gain of approximately $1,900 is what brings the balance up to $213,968.20. This is one of those weeks that I am seeing the value in investing, which I know might be controversial because it's like you have such a big balance invested. What do you mean? You're just now seeing the value in investing. Is in prior videos, I've always said that the reason why my portfolio is at its balance is because of the cash that I actually put in it, not necessarily the growth of the stock market. And you'll see what I'm talking about when I show you the holdings, because I've put a ton of money into this portfolio just in the year of 2024, that if I just relied on the gains in the stock market, this portfolio wouldn't even be six figures. Just being honest about the situation. So it's really nice to see a week like this where I'm like, okay, I did put money in because I invest every single week, but what I put in compared to the gains that I made in the stock market, there's a pretty stark difference. So that's really nice to see. I wish it was like this every single week. That would be amazing. But seeing this is just a nice reminder to myself to keep on investing, keep on going, even though a lot of times I don't see the value because the portfolio hasn't really made any meaningful gains on it. It's just keep on putting the money in, because hopefully one day in the future, hoping for sooner rather than later, this is going to be normal for you, where the money that you put in compared to the gain would be drastically different, with the gain just outperforming any amount of cash that you could put in. So yes, this is very, very nice to see. All right, so that is the summary. So let's go back to the main page. Let's look at the funding history. You'll see here, in the year of 2024, I put in $83,722. And then Right underneath it, you see a $4,000 withdrawal. Anyway, that was an error. So I always have to back out 4,000 out of the contribution deposit amount. So technically, for the year of 2024, I've put in $79,722. So definitely going to hit the $80,000 mark by the end of December. So just like I was saying before, why seeing the gains this past week significantly be higher than the deposit I put in is because of this. Like I've literally put $80,000 into this portfolio just in the year of 2024. So if I didn't put that money in, this portfolio would be nowhere near $200,000. So really just looking forward to the day when the gains is actually kind of moving the portfolio forward versus like essentially like all the growth in the portfolio, all the balance increase in the portfolio being because of cash that I put into it. Hopefully that makes sense. All right, let's go to the hold-in. So you see overall here, the portfolio is up 17.34% or $31,621.97. Again, this is not bad gains. I would love to see it in the 20s, like 20% or higher. But again, look at my cost basis. Like I put in $182,000 of cash into this portfolio. So the stock market is not why my portfolio is at its current balance. It's because of me and the cash that I put in. So hoping for, again, for that dynamic to switch and change in the future so I can give the stock market all the credit. Anyway, so my three holdings, so VU is up overall 16.52% or $19,373.63. It's really nice to see the overall percentage gain on VU going up. I remember when this was like 9%, 8%, 10%, and it was just really pathetic. So it's very nice to see VU moving up. And then moving over to SCHD, it's up overall 19.18% or $12,100.94. So this is really beautiful to see. Would love to see actually all of my holdings in the 20 plus range, but SCHD, she's inching there. She's doing good. She's been outperforming VU so far for the past couple months. So love my SCHD and definitely will be holding on to her forever. And then QQQM overall is up 7.4% or $147.40. QQQM is very volatile, and I've definitely seen that ever since I've invested into it. Still think it's a good hold-in, but going to keep it at a small percentage of my portfolio because yes, I'm not trying to have too much major swings because of QQQM. Now, I did say that once the portfolio balance is probably at like 220, 225, I am going to increase the QQQM position holding by 1%. So that essentially means more money is going to go into QQQM, but I'm taking it 1% increase at a time, and that's only when my portfolio hits certain balances that I'll do that. So again, when I hit 220, 225 in this portfolio, which based off where I am is not that far away, right? If we just go back to the main holding, right, that's like $10,000, $12,000 away. I'll bump up. You see QQQM right now is 1% of my portfolio, so I'll bump her up to 2%. And then when the portfolio probably hits 250, I'll bump QQQM to 3%. So it might be in $25,000 increments. Now, the more I'm thinking about it, I think that would make me feel comfortable, because even if QQQM has like a 10% drop, it wouldn't significantly affect my portfolio in a negative way. So yeah, stay tuned for that. But that is all of the updates for this week. The portfolio is moving and grooving. I was like, oh wow, I wonder if I would hit 215 by the end of December, but we'll see. It all depends on how the stock market does because I am no longer aggressively investing in my brokerage account for the remainder of the year, which essentially is just December that's left, because I do want to focus on rebuilding my emergency fund. But I will be putting, I was going to say I will put at least $1,000 in the portfolio for the month of December, but don't hold me to that. I'm not sure. I think I might put more money towards my emergency fund. And then starting in January 2025 is back to aggressive investing. So the reason why I slowed down on the portfolio for November and December of this year is because, for those who have been with me, I essentially diminished my emergency fund to put in my portfolio to get the portfolio to a $200,000 balance. And because I did that, I said, listen, for the month of November, December, I need to replenish my emergency fund and kind of just put money back into my savings and just back off on the investing because I've already done too much. But now looking back, I'm like, whoa, I'm glad I did it, because look at the balance now. We're like 213,000. So that's really good. Okay, so that's all of the updates for this week, and I'll catch you next week. Bye.